Hi again. All right, we're still continuing with this grouping of cards. I don't know what this is about yet, and you're gonna have to bear with me. I hurt my thumb. You can see it's a little bruised there, probably. I don't know if you can see that, but it is. Trust me, swollen and bruised, and probably mildly sprained. So I'm gonna be slower shuffling the cards and doing things, but I heard to do a reading. I'm gonna open the energy. And let's see. Let's find out what they want to talk about today. As I mentioned, I'm going to be shuffling a little more gently than usual. And that is going to lead to them wanting me to cut, because I can't shuffle quite as vigorously as I normally do. And they don't want me to shuffle for too long with my sore thumb. And I don't want me to. All right. Oh. Nyctophilia, comfort in darkness. This is an interesting new card. Very fun. Now let me do this deck. If you're just joining me, this is the secret language of darkness, and this is the secret language of light that I'm doing now. Okay, here I can cut them now. All right. Focus. All right. There we go. And now the card in between. There we go. This the one? Yeah. Bath Coal. Okay. Interesting cards. All right, so we're going to start with the darkness. And these two cards kind of give us an idea of what's going on. And then this card kind of gives us some advice. Oh. So. You have found safety in the shadows. So this is this card here. You may have diminished yourself to avoid attention. And maybe you have felt invisible or overlooked in conversations and decision-making because no one seems to hear you. Perhaps you have retreated into the background, as observing feels much safer than interacting with others. Are you scared to speak up for fear of ridicule or confrontation? I don't know why I can't even speak right now. Okay. Are you scared to speak up for the fear of ridicule or confrontation? Moving within the darkness can help you be less fearful of the unknown. It can be a place of safety while you study your environment and build your confidence. However, if you flee into the darkness, the shadow may obscure the solutions. Imagine yourself as a planted seed. Once it chooses to grow, it moves toward the light. It is time for you to heal and grow by stepping out of the shadows into the sunlight. When you feel pulled to visit the darkness, it is to find harmony and balance within your heart and soul, not to hide from the world. Turn to the light. It is time to grow. All right. Sorry I got interrupted. I'm going to continue now. We have focus. 37. Okay. A point of attraction. Where is your focus and what do you want to create? So this is interesting that we have this following this card, because this card says, when it's time to grow, you need to turn to the light. So they want you to focus on the light, right? Your point of attraction is the accumulation of all your thoughts. Some you are aware of and some you are not. The latter are thoughts you have repeated so often that they become beliefs and body memory. Those are the ones you're not aware of. But you may have become aware of them because you're in the shadows, right? Looking at them. The point of attraction is more fluid than you think. It is the overarching energy of your collected ideas, active beliefs, and your personality. Change any idea or belief, and your point of attraction shifts. You sense the world around you through the filter of your attraction point. Imagine this point moving along a sliding track within you. The master yourself means being able to move your view of reality at will. This can help you adjust and adapt to any situation. Stay in your center of love and on the path of your heart. You can choose to feel into the flow or resist and hold yourself back. Either way, you will still be loved by your soul and the universe. Okay, so these two cards together are saying, it's great to go into the shadows. It might feel safe. And, there's some stuff to look at in there, some wounds to heal, etc., etc. But when you want to grow, it's time to focus, turn to the light and focus on the light and shift your beliefs. So I just realized, I think I mentioned that my thumb is injured. So I looked up thumbs last night with Louise Hay. She has, stuff around injuries and disease and illness. And for the thumb, when you injure your thumb or you have problems with your thumb, she says it means you are worried and that you feel like you're under someone's thumb. Okay? So that might be a belief system that I have, and it might be a belief system that some of you have, because this is coming up in this reading. So we need, if that is a belief system that you have, that you're under someone's thumb, and that could be anyone's thumb. That could be, your parents, it could be a spouse, it could be a lover, it could be a friend, it could be a boss, it could be, the government, like the greater institutions in the world. So, if we feel like we're under someone's thumb, we feel like we have no control of our life. We feel like we're being held down, held back. Right? But this is telling us that what we're held down and held back by is actually our belief. And the belief, in this case, I think, that we want to discuss today is being under someone's thumb. Whoever's thumb. Maybe even your own thumb. Who knows? Maybe you hold yourself down, right? Hold yourself back. Maybe you think you're holding yourself back. But we need to shift that belief, is what I'm hearing with these two cards interacting. We've become so comfortable in that darkness, in that shadow, in that belief that we're being held back either by ourselves or by someone else or something else. That needs to be shifted so that we can move toward the light and we can grow. That's what I'm hearing. Okay, let's see what this card says. Let's see if it makes sense with what I'm hearing. Okay. Eschew complicated explanations as you seek the simplicity of the deepest truth of your heart. Gently but firmly cast aside that which does not resonate as being true for your heart. Focus upon and speak from a higher spiritual perspective. All prayers are answered at the perfect time and in the perfect way. You have a powerful voice, which can foster healing and wisdom on our planet. Bath Kol is a mysterious creature. She is an angel known as the Divine Oracle, the daughter of the Divine Voice, the pure and true sound of spirit. When she whispers to your heart, you feel it as an inner knowing, a truth. To honor that inner knowing likely requires the confrontation of fear or moving in unexpected directions. Even so, the deep resonance of her truth is more powerful than the resistance we may initially feel as we let go of our limited perspectives and allow ourselves to be guided by spirit. The spiritual voice of Bath Kol is always true, always healing, and always in harmony with the higher loving plan of the universal heart, which is working toward the spiritual fulfillment of all hearts. Hers is the healing sound, the voice of divine prophecy, which not only tells what shall be, but through speaking of the highest potential, creates a blessing which manifests the ultimate goodness within us. When Bath Kol appears in a reading, an inner spiritual call may require a leap of faith. A more authentic, awakened you is coming to life. Paving the way for the higher self to manifest typically means the fear and control-based approaches need to be surrendered. Bath Kol's presence indicates something more appropriate and vital needs to supersede the limiting structures currently in place. As a consequence, she is a portent of spiritual transformation and material manifestation. Honoring her guidance requires courage but brings rich reward on many levels. This oracle indicates a voice that is true and needs to be acknowledged. This may be a voice in your own heart which needs to be heard without judgment or censorship. It may be an intuitive inner knowing to be recognized. It may be a loving and helpful voice of a reliable guide or friend whom you know can be trusted. It may be a teaching from a dream or an insight from a meditation, or even an inkling that certain happening or sightings are signs from the universe to help you on your life path. Bath Cole is the clear voice of communication between humanity and higher spirits. When called upon, she will assist a human to accurately interpret a sign or an omen. Her voice brings clarity. Therefore, this oracle indicates a time of confusion is swiftly coming to an end. The oracle also encourages you to practice your power of discernment. Filter ego from heart. If a point of view lowers your vibration, such as, I believe I'm under someone's thumb, makes you feel negatively about yourself or another, increases your confusion, or makes matters seem more complicated, it is likely to be an ego-driven viewpoint. To consider what you might be able to learn from that viewpoint, you need to settle yourself on more authentic spiritual ground. So take a moment to disconnect from potential distractions and seek out sacred, quiet space where there is room for reflection. You may wish to have a journal and a pen with you to make notes. When you are ready, say aloud, I call upon the divine voice of Bath Cole, guardian of luminous communications and clear channel for spiritual truth and healing grace. Please bless me with clarity, according to the highest wisdom and mercy, and in divine timing. May I read the signs and hear the voice of truth louder than all others. May all beings receive the guidance they need to find happiness and spiritual freedom. When you are ready, place one hand over your heart and consciously connect to your breathing. Allow your awareness to connect with your heart. Notice any strengthening of your intuitive awareness over the 3 days that follow this exercise. Notice which sensations, feelings, messages, or insights flow as you tune into your heart. Be open to your heart and know that its truth will become clearer at the perfect time and in the perfect way. When the time is right for you, ground yourself and hydrate. You have completed your healing process. Okay, as I was coming to this card, and that card makes complete sense with these too, okay? Focus on the light, right? Focus on your heart. I found at the beginning of this book a session for sacred surrender. And it says, this session aims to reframe your view from ego opinion to soul wisdom. It is a healing process for unplugging from unhelpful approaches so you can allow a higher perspective and spiritual grace to enter your circumstances, bringing protection, empowerment, and inspiration to support a superior resolution. If you are guiding this process for another person or a group, simply follow the instructions and adapt the process accordingly. All right. When words need to be spoken aloud, you can ask the others to repeat it. You're not doing that, so I'm doing that, I guess. Okay, begin with your hands in prayer. Take a moment to feel the connection to your heart, your inner world, and perhaps to the light within. And say the following prayer aloud. In this sacred space, there is only love, wisdom, healing, grace, and the purest white light. All else departs through divine protection, healing, and grace. In this sacred space, new understanding can emerge for the greatest good. There is always a loving way through any issue. May the solutions and healing that bring happiness and freedom be shown now for the spiritual benefit of all beings. So be it. Okay. Sorry, I'm just waiting to see if there's anything else coming. Okay, what I heard is no one but you can keep you from turning to the light. No matter what anyone does, says, has done, you always have the choice to turn to the light. It's not wrong to choose to stay in the darkness. However, you will grow more if you turn to the light. Some plants grow in the darkness, yes, that's true, but you are not one of them. You are one that needs the light to grow. All right, they want me to read the 378 angel number. 378. Your next step has been delivered, but you must proceed before knowing what happens next. Move forward. Interesting. Didn't we have embracing the unknown not too long ago? So this says your next step has been delivered, but you must proceed before knowing what happens next. So you can't know the outcome. Move forward. Okay, now they want me to look at the 830. So we're going there. 8:30. Your experiences have all been for a reason. Angel guidance is encouraging you to trust in your power, purpose, and path. You have an essential role to play in the world. Interesting. And that's why it's important for you to turn to the light and grow, so you can fill that role. None of this was wrong. As the angel number said, it all was for a purpose. Okay. They want me to get some tarot now. Okay. Jeez. Okay, those are the cards. All right. Let's look at these. Ooh, look at these. Okay, they want them upright. Okay, so we have the Ace of Cups on one side and the Ace of Pentacles on the other side, and the World card, okay? And then we have in the middle the Queen of Swords and the Five of Wands with the Devil card. When I look at this, because Five of Wands is challenge, the Devil is often associated with addiction. And then we have the Queen of Swords. So I feel like there has been an addiction to this sword, to being the Queen of Swords. Okay? And there's nothing wrong with being the Queen of Swords. There's nothing wrong with it. As we've been coming to with other readings leading up to this one, boundaries are important, right? But as they said yesterday, you're being encouraged to lay down your guard and proceed peacefully, right? To come out of the darkness and look toward the light. So I feel like this is there's been an addiction, like it says, comfort in the darkness. You became very comfortable being in this shadow world, in the darkness, with your sword, fighting these challenges. It's almost addictive. It can be addictive, especially when you start on the healing journey. That can be addictive, right? The shadow work can be very addictive. That's what I'm hearing. But they want you to move forward, right? Your next step has been delivered and they want you to move forward. This is the Ace of Cups. This is new opportunities in new beginnings in the realm of love, in the emotional realm. And it also talks about filling your cup first and then letting it overflow. So having those boundaries, those clear boundaries, so you can fill your cup first, but allow it to overflow, okay? And receive and allow yourself to overflow with what you receive. This is the Ace of Pentacles, which is new beginnings, new opportunities in the physical world, in the material world, okay? So laying down your sword, giving up this, for lack of a better word, addiction to I hear overanalyzing with the Queen of Swords as well. Overanalyzing. It's a really easy thing to do, to always want to be doing the shadow work and analyzing everything, right? But they're asking you to lay that down so that you can move into these new beginnings. And then the World card is here. The World is the completion of this cycle, right? And also the beginning of something new. And the World speaks sometimes of travel, but it also speaks of, the world being your oyster, being able to, play in the world in a way that you haven't been able to in a while. And as you open yourself up to the world, it opens itself up to you. That card speaks of that as well. So, yeah. This follows yesterday's reading quite well. Lay down your guard, and proceed in a peaceful way. Shifting this belief that you're under anyone's thumb and that you have to fight to get out from under it. You don't. You're not under anyone's thumb, not even your own. All you have to do, it's very simple, like one of these cards or messages said, it's very simple. Don't overcomplicate it. Turn toward the light. All right, they want me to read some of these numbers now. So the first one they're showing me is the 151. Your confidence is growing and will encourage your gifts and talents to surface. Continue to trust in yourself. Beautiful. Now they're showing me the 512. 512. Take time to make peace in relationships where you have experienced challenges. Yes. Show that you are willing to move forward in a loving way. Yes. Beautiful. Okay, now they're showing me the 121. The 121. Let me find that. The universe is here, right here with you. Know that you are more connected to it than ever. Yeah, the whole universe is opening up to you. Turn toward the light. That is the name of this reading. I hope you have a beautiful, beautiful day.